sejam bem-vindos a mais um Ovo de Colombo. Hoje a gente tem um convidado muito especial, é um australiano, fotógrafo, surfista, produtor de vídeo. A gente vai conversar com ele para entender como ele conseguiu chegar nessa profissão, como ele vive dessa profissão de fotógrafo. Ele é um cara muito renomado no mundo inteiro. É o Adam Parsell, right?
That's correct, Adam Parsell.
I spell right, man?
You said it correctly.
Oh, thank you. Well, I have some briefing here, and
Sure.
I will track that. But if
Fabulous.
you want to mess around,
No, go for it.
Be my
Go
pleasure.
for it.
Okay, Adam, we are talking with some people that are starting your business or starting your professional ways,
Yeah.
and of course they have a curiosity of how was your path, right? And when was the first time you knew you would work as a photographer?
Wow, that's an interesting question. I was 7 years old.
7
I
years
was
old,
7
man.
years old,
Great.
and the first camera I had was called a box brownie.
Box Brand.
Yeah, which is basically a box, and you look through a little square lens, and you hold it like so, and there's one button, nothing. It's just the same set exposure, and that's it. And that's when I learned. I was 7 years old.
Oh
And
my God.
the interesting thing was, from that moment, my father said, I want you to be a photographer when you become
Really?
a teenager. I was 7.
What a great father!
You know, so
you have,
I'm
man.
kind of going, what the heck? You know, I'm 7, you know. But yeah, I was a very young, you know, I was a kid when I got the hunger to take photos.
Very cute.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first picture?
Professional picture or just
No.
the first picture?
With 7 years old.
Well, it was of the Jenolan Caves. It was my friend, Andrew Ramelsi. He's standing in the front of a very famous place in the Blue Mountains called the Jenolan Caves. And these caves are amazing. It's one of the unique places in Australia that there's such a thing. I don't know what you have it here in Brazil, but it's a famous cave, and it's lime and water,
Yes.
and they're stalactites and
We
stalagmites.
have a lot of caves here.
That have those
Yeah,
sorts of
it's
things.
so beautiful.
Beautiful water. And I remember
Yeah.
I was going in there and I'm looking around going, oh my God, this is
And
amazing.
and-
Meu Deus, as they
Meu
say in
Deus.
Portuguese. But that was my first experience and my opening to what I believe, I guess, was an introduction to, you know, wanting to become a photographer.
Do you still have it?
The box brownie?
Yeah.
No, but 4 months ago in Los Angeles, I was shooting a short film, and there it was at a garage sale,
Oh.
this same camera. And
Did you sell
and
it?
I picked it up and I just went, oh my God, this is the same camera, a Kodak box brownie.
In the first photo, do you have?
No, I don't. No, when my mother died and my father died, a lot of,
Both die, man.
yeah, a lot of the...
Do you have brothers?
I have a brother and a sister.
Okay. In
But-
Australia?
Yeah, in Australia. My brother has a surf shop, and
Very cool.
and my sister is a chef. So, but it was interesting when you say, like, do I hold the first photos? I've got a lot of the first photos I took, but in essence, I've also lost a lot of the first photos I took. You know, I left them with my mother. My mother's house got flooded. All my photos washed
Oh my God.
down the street and all got ruined. So I had nothing, you know.
What a shame, man.
Yeah, it was a bummer.
Your history.
It was a bummer. But, you know, that's life, isn't it?
Right. What your family think about your profession?
It was interesting. My father initially wanted me to become a furniture maker. So, you know, I'm very good at you know, making timber and chairs and tables and beds. I'm very good with my hands.
Really?
Yeah, I'm really good. I won, like when I was young at school, won a lot of awards in school. It was pretty funny. I was the crazy kid, but I think a lot of the time for me, you're going to find that there's moments when you know what you're good at, you know what you're great at, and you know what you're okay at.
Okay.
And I knew from a young age that if my father wanted me to be one thing and my mother wanted me to be another, I had to make a decision at a young age.
Yes.
Because my father sent me to a furniture shop to work as a furniture maker. But ideally I wanted
And
to
do
be
you like it?
No, I did it for 1 week.
Yeah.
I'm on this big lathe and it's like and the freaking thing went flew off and nearly knocked me out. So I went, that's enough for me. A week later,
God bless you, have all the fingers.
yeah. And a week later I ended up working in a photography studio. Yeah.
Your mom or?
I did. I started working in a photographic
How long?
studio. I was 15 years old.
15 years old.
Yeah.
How long you have
Kinsey
been a
Arts.
photographer?
I've been a photographer now for 35 years.
What an amazing experience.
A
man.
long time. 25
Amazing
anos.
experience. How many magazine covers have you already done, man?
About 120.
20.
120.
120?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, about 120.
Really cool, man.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny, you know, you go to castings or they say, we want to have a look at your work, and they'll basically say to me, oh, have you done many covers? And I said, yeah, I've done some covers.
Some covers?
And they say, oh, well, we have a photographer, he's done 10 covers. I'm like, wow,
10 covers.
that's great.
Really cool.
I said, it's unreal. And they said, how many have you done? I said, oh, yeah, for that magazine, I did 80, I did this 20, I did that one, they've gone, well, maybe you should do this. I said, well, I shot for Playboy all around the world, and I shot for this magazine. They've gone, wow, okay, so, you know.
Well, that's the next question in my briefing here, but you have already made Australian Playboy covers, right?
Sure.
And then you have your first time doing this, right? You get nervous or?
Oh, look, it's interesting. I mean, shooting a naked woman, I've been shooting nude women from when I was 15 years old.
15 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah.
With a high testosterone.
Well, kind of. The girls I was shooting were 18, 19 and 20, but I was 15.
Okay.
So, and, you know, and when
I can't go to this part
no,
of the television.
but when you're shooting a beautiful naked woman, you have to remember two things, and that's you have to have the confidence to be able to put that woman in a place of her own confidence and her own self-assurance, or you can put the model in a place of massive discomfort. And it's much more important for the model to be super happy, super peaceful, and her self-confidence is really high. Otherwise you have a problem. Because
with 15 years old,
I was
how
very,
do you find
well,
the confidence to do that, man?
I'm an arrogant
Okay. It's all explained, man.
I'm an arrogant person, in a good way.
In a good way.
In a
right?
good way.
Man, how is your financial life as a photographer?
I
Is
think.
it up and down?
Look, I think.
You save money.
No, it's a very interesting thing. I think being a photographer is like being an artist or being an actor. You're going to have times when you have $5 in your pocket. You're going to have times when you have $5,000 in your pocket. You have to look at photography as being a business, an art, and a social experience.
Really? But you did save money.
I'm a gypsy.
Okay. Let me ask you, what is the best part of your day as a photographer?
When I'm working on a job,
Yes.
I love being able to translate an experience that I can see in an individual and taking it and making it
A
much
specific
better.
individual or?
Anybody.
Okay.
Anybody. I can shoot someone that's literally going to be quite an average person in their life. But there's a saying in English, they say, turning lemon into lemonade.
Yes.
I don't know what you say here in Brazil, but that's...
It's the same thing, man.
It's a similar thing, you know.
Yes, the same thing.
I love turning things around, and I love making people look at the photos later on and go, damn, that's insane, that's fabulous.
Right.
You know, that's important to me.
Do you think that the result of a photo, it depends more than a photographer or the model?
If you have a beautiful looking model standing right in front of you, and you have a photographer that has the ability to be able to work with that model, it's easy.
To click the box?
Yeah, it's easy.
Okay.
It's easy. You know, I mean, you see a beautiful flower, it's pretty hard to take a bad photo of a beautiful flower. It's like that with a model. You have beauty, it's easy. But if you have someone that's not as beautiful, then the photographer's real skill comes to life.
Really cool. How can you get the best of the models during the shooting, man?
That's really quite simple. To me, it's a lot about eye contact, and it's a lot about putting a certain level of trust in each other.
Okay.
I can look at a model and I can straight away tell whether she's going to be easy to work with or difficult to work with.
Okay. Do you talk with her?
Oh
before
yeah,
the job?
I'm very narrated. I'm very narrated when I'm talking and shooting. I'm very much hands-on. Like, okay, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. Let's come here, come this way, go that way, go there, go there. I'm very narrated all the time. You know, it's what I do. You know, it's like models love working with me. I'm very much stand up this way, that way. Come here, come there.
This is an important part of the work.
Yeah, oh, so much. It's 80% of it.
Really cool, man.
Yeah.
When you know that your work is finished or perfect?
How do you know?
Yeah.
When my work is finished or perfect? I make a really...
And then you say, okay, everybody back out.
No, I'm
go.
really straightforward. I can take one photo and I can say, bam, that's done. Next outfit, next change. I've done it. I've done it many times. I've been on magazines.
How do you know that it's perfect?
I just know.
It's some kind of feeling, or?
Yeah, you have to know. It's a little bit like a love affair. You know, you see somebody down a street, in a bar, on a beach, in a park, you look and you go, bam, that's the person I want to marry. And you're kind of creating a marriage between you and the photo.
Speaking in marriage, but you are not married. How do you know that?
Well, I can only imagine.
Okay. How much do you charge to a job for a great brand?
It can vary very much.
Okay.
And I like to keep that quite confidential.
Okay.
But it can range in the tens of thousands of US dollars per day.
Okay.
And it can vary down to, you know, possibly $1,000 US dollars a day. You know, when I was working for brands like Reebok or Billabong or Quicksilver or Ray-Ban, you know, et cetera, you're charging them a large amount of money because they're getting a large opportunity to use it on a large scale.
Yeah, it's true, man.
You know.
But with this money, you can live all the year.
You can live as well as you want to live.
Where do you spend your money, man?
You know, if I told you that, I'd have to kill you.
Oh, okay. I want to ask. What was your best work?
I get asked that question a lot all around the world in photography workshops and clinics that I do. I don't really have a favourite photo. I remember I took a photo of my sister breastfeeding her son, and I was...
Very sensitive photo.
Yeah, I think I was young when I took the photo. Okay. And it was a special moment.
Do you have it already?
Somewhere in a box, I don't know where.
Okay.
Like a lot of my things, in boxes somewhere.
You have to get it into your pocket.
I'm going to have to get that box and put it in there somewhere. Yeah. Pull the box out. Yeah. Like a magic trick. Poof!
Okay, man. We are finishing our first part, okay?
Stage 1.
Ovo de Colombo colocando o seu negócio de pé.